And here we go. We're live.
Perfect. Hello.
Hello, everybody. So just a short introduction. Thank you very much, Pat Parelli and Kenzie, for taking the time. And I think the two of you are going to explain a little bit how you met, where you're working, what you do with the horses. And if I might say, we have two very talented horse people from different generations. And I think, Kenzie, you learned a lot from Pat as well. So maybe you just, tell us where you know each other from, where you come from, and what you're up to.
Thank you, Vera. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm very happy that Pat Parelli is doing this interview with me, and I can make a few questions, and I can actually just have a nice chat with Pat Parelli and listen a little bit to the story, how he met my father, and also to let you know how Pat Parelli marked a little bit my way with horses and my thinking about horses. So I think it's going to be a nice chat the next 20, 30 minutes, we'll see.
Super.
So yeah, you.
Kenzie, really good. Thank you both, Vera and Kenzie, for this. I love these new ideas. I was in Australia in 1987, and I looked up I was way in the outback, and I looked up and they had a television. There were 6 children in the room taking a school from the air. And I said, someday I want to be able to do things like that. And so I wrote a thing and said, I want to give my philosophy and knowledge to anyone who loves horses, no matter where they live or what they can afford. And look, today, technology is doing that for us.
Yeah, actually, 3 really different places, and we just came together, and it will be shown all over the world. We have followers and people who can see you. So it's amazing, I think, this technology.
Yeah, I'm in Colorado. You are in Germany, and where are you at?
I'm in Germany as well, but on the other end of Germany. So
okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We were actually worried about the time. If you're really counting the time well, that we are going to.
Yeah, we had some trouble doing that in the beginning,
but it was fine. So first, I want to just introduce a little bit how I saw you the first time, because everyone who's following me, as we are the first person who are seeing this, and the first person which are following me. So I will just introduce that my first liberty experience, actually, and my first image of liberty, imagination of liberty, was when I saw, I think I was 13 years old, or 12 years old, I don't know, I don't remember, Americana, and I saw Pat Parelli working with horses, and I was on the barn watching, was very down, like really sitting on the floor and watching on the down barrel here, watching how you were working with the horses, and I was crying. I was actually crying, and I said to me that I really want to do this work with horses. I want to do this liberty. I want to get this emotion. I couldn't explain what I was feeling, but I want to do that. And I don't know if it was the same Americano or if it was the next one, but somehow I asked my mother or my father, I'm not sure. I asked if they can introduce me to you, or if I just explain them how amazed I was, and you let me in one show. And that was the first experience with one horse. It was white and brown, and one mare, I still remember. And the first thing was, you asked me, should I help you to get up? And I said, no, I can get up. And I jumped up on the horse. And I was so happy and so proud that I could do this in front of you. But actually, there were nothing on top of the horse. So I was like, okay, and now what we are going to do? And it was, I think, 10 minutes or 20 minutes, I don't know. For me, it was very long, and it was so much emotion in me, so much I could feel, I could see, and I was really like, a sponge. I was sitting there like a sponge. Every little word you were saying, or everything you were telling to me, I was trying to keep. And with all this full sponge, I went home to my horse, and he needed to work. I tried everything to make him to have this feeling. I didn't have to system or something, but I had everything you told me, and I started with all this imagination, these feelings, these impressions, everything I got in this 20 minutes. I started to try something, and that was, I think, the first experience for me with the Liberty. And afterwards we met, Equitana, Americana every time, and we chat a lot. Then you invited me, which was a very nice honor for me. I was so amazed to come there. And I already talked very long, but it's really you who made the first steps in my life for Liberty. So I'm very happy to tell this to people.
I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. You did very good. You're still doing very good. You came over to Florida and you rode Magic. Remember when you came over? And I have a picture of you and Orly in the picture.
Yes. Yeah. I still have sometimes contact with her. It's very nice.
Yeah, she's very tough.
And I wanted to ask you, how actually do you met my father? Because you were together before, 4 years ago, and we're friends, right? More or less friends.
Yes. Okay. Your father was in. I lived in Northern California, and I went to help a friend of mine who was building barns. And your father was working on this place, training horses. And he wanted to learn the California Vaquero way, which was what I was taught since I was little. This idea of having a high goal, but having very gentle process to get the horses to haute école, to high school, to a high level, be able to work cows and do all this stuff with one hand, ride in a bridle. And so I was helping with this barn building at this place. I think it was Palisadro is the name of the town, which is near Redding, which is way up in northern, almost to Oregon. And was there for maybe a week, and every day we would talk and we would talk and we would talk and we would talk. And then I saw him in Reno, which is where the snaffle bit maturity was in those days. And then I was showing, and he was interested, and and we just kept going. And then finally, in 1987, he helped Rolf Kruger to he told him that he needs to bring Pat Parelli to Equitana. And that was my first time to Equitana. So your father really was the one who was instrumental for me to come to Equitana. And we had a great relationship. And then, of course, I met your mother, who was from Egypt, and a very pretty woman. And you were so also pretty. You look a lot like I can see the resemblance of your mother there. Your father was a very nice man, a very smart man, and a very sincere and dedicated about this idea of good horsemanship. I think he was mostly interested in Western, but anybody who is interested in horsemanship it's not English or Western. It's just the horse first. And so through all that we got to know each other, become friends, and then you guys bought the place in Spain. Do you still have the place in Spain?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we still have the place in Spain.
Yeah. So just all of this is just my memory of that, and I'm forever grateful that we were good friends, and that he talked to Rob Kruger about bringing me to Equitana.
Nice, very nice. And how did you develop? Now talking about your horsemanship, how did you develop what you want to do in horses? How did it made for you the sense when it started that you did Liberty, and why?
Well, first of all, thank you. Good question. First of all, I was a rodeo cowboy. So when I would do rodeos, they would have these guys that would bring animals and do a special act. And they would have dogs or pigs or horses or donkeys or mules or chickens, chimpanzees. I saw everything. Okay? So I would go ask them, how do you do this? And so I got very interested to train animals. And lucky for me, when I was about 25, 24, 25, I met a man named Troy Henry, and when he was in the military in Germany, he studied with a circus trainer. I don't remember the name. I don't know who it was. But he taught him to do liberty. So he taught me the first thing you should do is teach your horse to come to you in the round crowd. And the second thing you should teach the horse to do is to go around, maintain gait, direction, look where he's going, change directions, and then come back to you when you want. And then from there, he could get horses to spin and slide and do lead changes. And in a corral about the size of a circus corral, which is about 40 feet, and most people use 50. And he was, so he built everything around that. And that's what I was with him for 5 years until he passed away, till he died in 1981, almost 82, December. And so then one of my clients, his name is Dr. Bradley, R.M. Bradley from Hollywood, California, asked me to come down and tell everyone what I learned in 5 years. And I said, wow, how do I do that? So I finally worked, and I figured out what I learned was the attitude, some knowledge, which tools to use, which ones not to use, techniques, how much time it takes to put the time into things, and then to have a mission. And then it took me many years to learn what I really needed was support. I needed other horsemen to also, after he died, because when he died, I thought, what do I do now? And then I met Tom Dorrance, Ray Hunt, Ronnie Willis, Freddie Kenny, and Freddie Kenny used to come to Rapperswil for 2 weeks every year, and just kept going and building. And no matter what I did, where I did, I saw that there was this potential, and then the more my horses liked me on the ground, the more they did better for me in the saddle. And I don't understand why the whole world doesn't do it. So I'm a little bit mad at the whole world because they don't understand the horses. And I try hard. I have done more than 2 million people to see me at demonstrations and clinics and stuff, and televisions, and they still don't get it. So, but you got it. That's what I love about you. You got it so good. You're the best. Even Lorenzo told me, he says, remember when we took the picture, you and me and Lorenzo?
Yeah.
Okay, I still have it on the phone. I'll show it. And he said, Pat, I want to come ride with you and in Colorado. And I said, good. But he says, I don't know how to ride. I only know how to stand on a horse.
Yeah, he told me that. He told me that.
Yeah. So that's kind of the story.
He knows how to ride. But yeah, when he told me that, yeah. But I think Parelli for me is the name. I mean, it's a mark already for natural horsemanship. I think what you did, no one of the Liberty trainer, you have so many in Europe and everywhere, but no one have done what you have done. I mean, to put it so wide, to put it so over the world. And one thing you told me, because you invited me there, and I was because I didn't know you so well, and you just showed me everything. You just really you invited me and gave me everything, and I was like, what does he want? Yeah. I mean, it's amazing, but why? And once I asked you, and you told me you just want to make the world a better place for horses.
Cool.
Amazing, yeah. I remember it was like Equitana night last night. Oh, yeah, before
Yeah.
last night. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I just want to make the world better for horses and then the people who love them, because people who love
Yeah.
horses, they can love them, but that doesn't mean they understand them or really know what to do. Just because you love doesn't mean it's all going to work. And so I like to make things simple for people, and I love yeah, I think there's only two kinds of people in the world, complicators and simplifiers. I'm a simplifier. I try to make everything simple. It's really simple, but it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not.
That's actually right, because I'm teaching a lot also here in Germany, and I always, and it's so hard to get into the people and to know how maybe they are going to think, and how could you explain this person with this horse so that that person understands and can able to do it with that horse. But actually it's so simple. You're right, they're the one who make it complicated and the one who try to make it simpler. That's right. And
well, I was going to say that usually people who are very natural with horses, it's so simple for them. They're usually not good teachers. They make it very complicated for other people. They don't mean to, but they do. They make it simple for the horse, but they make it hard for the people. And they don't mean to, but it's because usually if you're good with people or dogs, doesn't mean you're usually good with horses. Horses are a special thing. If you can be good with horses and people and dogs, now you're doing something. And that's what I love to do. Tonight I'm doing a show with my dogs.
Tonight, really? With the dogs and horses?
In Colorado, yes, I'm doing it with cows, dogs, and horses tonight. I'm doing a show.
The cows are listening to you?
The cows do what the dogs do. The cows do what the dogs tell them.
Okay, perfect.
Then I have a cutting horse, and I will say to the horse, you pick the white cow or the black one or something, and there will be a lot of people there, and we will make a demonstration tonight.
That's amazing.
Here in Colorado.
Somewhere people can look up? Will it be transferred on internet somehow? Yes, maybe. You don't know.
I don't know. Can we do Facebook Live tonight?
That would be so cool.
I mean, now that the people are connected, I think
we'll try to do Facebook Live tonight, okay? And that's at 7 o'clock my time.
Okay, we will count.
Yeah.
Stay up. Stay up.
So, but there you already reached to my next question.
So what are you?
What? Tell me.
Go ahead. Your turn.
My next question was actually how what is for you a good teacher, and how do you deal with emotions? Because emotions is for me often something where I see I think I can control them. Because somehow I know how to control them, and I know that for other people it's so hard to deal with the emotions when they are working with horses, because they always think the horse does it to do something against them. Now I don't know. What is you thinking about that?
A good teacher never goes the extra mile for someone going the other direction, and always goes to the end of the earth for anybody who wants to learn. So when you came to Florida, I said, come on, I give you everything, whatever we can do for the time. Number two, you have to work with people at their level. And if some people the level is low, you have to work with them at that level. And if their level is high, like you, I could work with you there. The third one is feed people with a spoon, not a big shovel. Okay, not a big, but a lot of information at one time. But the more knowledge we have, like the other day, I was working with a Mustang here, who is 12 years old, and he is so scared of people, and and on and on and on and on. And everybody said, you are so patient. I said, because I know it's going to work. It's just taking longer than we all want it to take, but I know it's going to work. So I just have to be patient. So I have to know the principle. I have to know, and I have to have the sequence. You know, it's what you do when you do. So a lot of people, and I made a lot of mistakes in my life with horses. And the number one mistake is I forgot to make him my friend. And I don't care if it takes 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks. You do that. And then when they trust you and they want to be with you and they love you, you know, when a horse will, when you come into the barn, okay, now he doesn't care how much you know until he knows. Then you show him what you know, okay, and then they're like teenagers. They get bored very quickly. If mom and dad don't know how to use the computer, the teenager thinks the mom and dad is very stupid. Okay, I know because my daughter and my son think I'm very stupid because I don't know how to use the computer. Okay, but so I have the iPhone now a little bit, but it's like the same thing. So your horse, he might after 2 months might go, okay, that's all you know, and it's I love you and thank you for the carrots, thank you for the cookies, but thank you for riding once in a while. But that's all. So it has to be positive. It has to be progressive. And it has to be natural to the horse. What's natural to the horse is not usually natural to the people because we're predators and they are prey animals and we are primates. We're like monkeys. We monkey see, monkey do. And so we watch other people do it wrong. So our mind thinks that's how you're supposed to do it. And then we write rules about it. We write a book about it. We tell all the people how bad the horse is and how to make all this stuff work for the horse. But anyway, that makes it complicated. That's the complicated way to do it.
No, it's actually not. It's an amazing comparison with that we are actually like monkeys, and it's so true. It's so true. People see something and
the monkey wants to pull. The monkey wants to pull and lean in the direction he's going, and it's everything backwards. It's everything backwards. Yeah. The human is backwards for the horse, and the horse for the human. So, I did an audio tape called "Humans Are from Mars, Horses Are from Venus," and then some guy copied me and put "Men are from Mars and women are from Venus," but I paid a lot of money. I didn't make so much money.
I'm gonna check up. I think it's very interesting for people also to see that there's problems that they are. I mean, sometimes they think for you guys it looks so it's always so simple and everything works, but why it doesn't work with me? So I think it's very nice that we can talk so open about it, because it's actually what the people they can be a little bit more relaxed. That it's normal. They just had how do you say, to open to learn that it's normal that they don't understand. So that's a little bit what also I try sometimes.
Same for me. If I try to learn something new, it's not easy for me. I can learn it, but it's not easy. Like about computers or maybe a new sport or something like that. It's off hard. That's the way learning is. And then some people are talented in certain areas. I love to sing, but I don't know anybody that loves me to sing because I don't sing very good. But I would love. It's not my gift. God didn't say he needs to be a good singer, okay? But some people or musician or I love all that stuff. My gift is horses and teaching people. That's my gift.
Yeah, really, they really do, and sometimes it can be very hard, and it's sometimes hard to explain that's reality. That's because this person is maybe very don't have the sensibility in this moment, or maybe it's just sad or too emotional and gets a very insecure horse. We have a lot of questions. We had a lot of questions with mares, with very dominant mares. They are so hard, and you have to be so sensible, and at the same time to show them also that you can be a leader. You're strong, but you're also sensible. So it's so hard for some people to to get this balance and to always know how to act or how to react can be so complicated with some horses. So I think it's very good to talk about it.
But I like to tell people, you have to show the horse where the boundary is. Show him where the boundary is. Don't try to force him to do it. Don't make him do it. But say, if you go over there, it's like a fence. The horse goes next to the fence at liberty. He runs into it. So yeah, it's more like about boundaries, showing him where the boundaries are.
Yeah.
And then it's, the horse is not going to run into the fence more than twice. And he goes, oh, there's the boundary. That's my boundary. So what we have to do with our hands and our legs when we're riding is show him where the boundary is. And just say, don't lean on the boundary. Do it in a way that's no emotion, but at the same time you sensible and you feel his sensitivity if he has it, and if not, well then you have to be able to get firm without getting mean or mad, and gentle without being a big sissy. So it's that balance. We call the happy medium, the extreme middle of the road.
It's a good word for that. But you as you explain it also, it's very simple, because for you it's natural. It's so of course you have to just show them the limits, but you have to know before you show them the limits where your limits are, and that's sometimes so hard for the people.
That's right.
You don't know where the limits are.
Yeah, no, that's right. And
sometimes,
this natural horsemanship is natural for horses. It's not natural for people. It's natural for horses. And that's the hard part. A lot of people think, oh, if I do this, but it has to be deep in your heart, strong in your mind, and then so light in your hands. This feeling, and it doesn't mean you touch your horse like this. It means that you are using your sensible part of your hands, and you use the correct muscles. These are the wrong muscles. The ones back here are the ones. That's why we must use our core and our elbows connected. This is where then the horse feels the energy going through him, through us, to him, to the ground, to him, through us, to the ground. And this is where all this, especially if those that want to have collection, we have to have the horse transfer the weight to the hindquarters. We have to have a long body logic. Horses have got long bodies. People have got people have tall bodies. Horses have long bodies. Okay, so what we have to teach our horses though is they have to shorten their body and then take the weight back on the hindquarters, lighten the forward, transfer the weight. Because when a horse stands still or walks, his weight is on the front. It's always on the front. Yeah. So everything we knew, we have to get the weight to go back, and then he starts to go, oh, I have more balance and like this. But you can't force it. This roll cur and all these mechanical ways that people do, and oh my God, if horses could scream, a dog, when you hurt them, they scream. Okay, but a horse can't scream. If they could scream, oh my God, there would be stables everywhere with screaming horses. They are screaming, but we can't do it.
And that's what's actually so hard, so make it so cruel and so hard, because of course they as you say, they cannot scream, and people just don't see it. Maybe you see it because you know the face of the horse, you know the expression. Maybe I see it. Maybe some of you other trainers see that when they are suffering or when it's just against them and they're in pain. But many people, they don't see it, nothing. And yeah, it's hard to. But also that's why your training also thinks about the mimic of the horses, right?
Yeah.
And I think something they should
learn from their mother. They learn from their mother. So we just have to act like the mother, really, to have a longer body and to let it be easy for them to be with us, and the boundaries be hard not to be. It's that simple.
Yeah. Did you ever had the experience in your life where you say, oh, well, I bet you had maybe many, but where you say it was es hat mich geprägt. How you say this in English? Something remarked me. was hard, and this experience really marked me.
I don't understand the word.
No.
What is the word?
Marked. It
I-
really was hard for you to get over that, and you reached it, and it was something you had with a horse. Maybe a big challenge or something.
Okay, like an impossible horse. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like a very hard situation. Maybe with a horse, a very hard situation.
Yeah,
Bet
of course.
you.
So I went into a place that was doing printing one time, and had a sign on the front and said, we offer three things: speed, quality, and price. Take your pick of any two. So if you want to go fast, you're not going to get the quality. You might get it cheap. You're not going to go, so sometimes the horse, it's the principle, then the purpose, and then the time. And if we, and then you have to decide why you're doing it. How worth is it? Are you doing it for the horse? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for somebody else? And if somebody wants me to train horses, I charge $500 an hour. So if they have a really challenged horse, it's going to take me, 40 hours of work. They better be willing, they better think, oh, I'm worth to put that money into that horse. I just had a horse came from Germany, and by the most famous rider and the most famous breeder. And my friend, now he's my friend. I met this man. He paid 550,000 euros 3 years ago. Okay. And the horse came over here, and they 18 three hands tall, and the horse didn't like people, and he got on it, and they didn't tell him you must give him some drugs to sedate him. And the horse started jumping without sticks. And this guy is riding Grand Prix. It scared him so bad that he was like, I will never get on that horse again. Then he did, and it happened again. He just picked up his riding crop, and the horse saw it, started. He said, that's it. So he called me, and he says, can you fix my horse? And I said, I don't know. I don't even see your horse yet. And he said, what do you charge? I said, nothing if it doesn't work. He said, what do you charge if it works? I said, oh, good question. 20% paid. All right. It took me 6 months to completely renaturalize the horse. He won 5. He went to Wellington, which is it's like Aachen here in the United States, in Florida. He went to Wellington, and he won 5 of 7 classes. And by the time I got the horse there, he could ride it bareback. We went in the mountains, trekking, following cows, doing all kinds of things. The horse would follow you anywhere in the field. All the things that were important to the horse, they had skipped. And so that took a long time, 6 months. I mean, I didn't ride the horse every day, all day long. But one time I sat on that horse for 6 hours watching another clinician, and for the horse to stand still for 1 minute. Took 6 hours. He was so nervous, so bothered. Yeah. I was watching a friend of mine doing cutting horse clinic. And so for me, it was, well, okay, I need to sit somewhere anyway. My seat was moving around a lot. And, finally, and that took the patient 6 hours. Who do you know who's going to sit on a horse for 6 hours until he relaxes? Yeah. I did.
There are not many people who do that.
No, 6 minutes, No. So
no.
We have to look at it from the horse's point of view. And so that's where I go. For me, to that man, it was worth it for him. And the horse went on to win, and he sued those guys, and they gave him another 350,000 euro horse on top of it. And he got his horse, and he won in the jumping in his class. It's the place in Canada. What's the big place in Canada where they jump? Spruce Meadows. And he won at Spruce Meadows. There's a big one. Some candy corporation does the thing, and on and on. And he just donated the horse to a handicapped riding program last month. So success. And
amazing.
So you know what I mean? So Yeah, it was a difficult horse situation. Somebody else made the horse difficult. I
Yeah.
had to, but so everything there. And then I've had other horses that made this just as hard or harder. And maybe it's, maybe they're not worth any money. When I was your age, I did it because I wanted to learn. I did it for me. Okay, so it depends on all the things. Yes, I've had very difficult horses, and but it's great. It's a great thing to learn, and then like my horse Casper and Magic, the mare they were both very difficult horses, but so much talent when it was put in the package.
Actually, my best horses were also, were also very difficult. Very difficult. Like this black horse I have, Attila, he was the most difficult horse I had. I think before, if I wasn't so stubborn when I was young and I really wanted to have this horse, my mother would have sold him, or I don't know, put him away that I don't sit on him. But I was incredibly stubborn with that horse.
Yeah. Freddie Kenzie Sr. used to say most of his horses in the circus were somebody else's problem horse. He took those Arabians and those Frisians and all the horses he had. Most of them were problem horses that someone gave to him for the circus. So if you know how to take the energy and put it into the work, it's you have to learn to be the ambassador of yes, and most people are the minister of no. No, stop going so fast. Stop doing that. Stop doing this. Instead of saying, yes, you can go fast, but you have to do it in a small circle. Yes, you can go fast, you can buck, but I have to do it at liberty. Yes, you can do it, but you got to say yes, but this.
But there's
the rules.
Yeah.
You can go fast in a small circle, not fast straight ahead.
I think often these difficult horses, which are so difficult to make problems or get into problems, I think are the horses which are the most smartest. Sometimes.
That's like me. That's why I'm not so easy to be. You better be pretty smart to be around. I say you have to have heart in your smart and hustle in the muscle.
Yeah.
If you got that, you're gonna make it good. If you don't have that, you better go somewhere else.
I like to do so.
What are you doing these days? Tell me what you're doing these days. I don't do Instagram or anything like that. So every once in a while, someone shows me a picture from you or something, but I don't do it or follow it. I have to put my stuff on myself because yesterday my puppies were 4 weeks old. I have 5 puppies on my Instagram, and thousands of people were there, and going on it to say something. But so tell me what you're doing these days.
Well, I have done this show Cavaluna. I don't know if you heard about it. It was a musical with horses where I had to learn trick riding. I had to learn to dance, acrobatics, to act like an actress, and like theater, and also having inside my young Liberty horse, a black young stallion, which is also quite a hard horse, but he's a very nice horse. And another horse which I had for Garrocha. So I had 2 horses, 1 Liberty, 1 Garrocha, 1 trick riding horse, and acting. And it was a quite hard time until Corona, because we had every weekend around 6 shows, around 4 and 6 shows in nearly every city in Germany, Switzerland, Belgium. We were also Netherlander and Austria. So when Corona starts, we needed to cancel everything. Now I'm spending my time with my horses, which is very nice because I had not so much time the last few month or year. So I have more time for my horses, which is very nice. Also for the young ones and the older ones. and I have more time also to improve all this internet courses I do, clinics, and teaching people and making content on Instagram. So I'm developing everything on the internet and with my horses. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, waiting until Corona goes away.
Yeah.
Kenzie, one question. Did you tell Pat about your course or your online courses in detail, what you do? Because I think this is really, really great how you build that up. I think it's worth telling him.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I started to wait. Actually, I started with the person, so to analyze yourself, to analyze your horse, to know to have a little bit more knowledge about how to get to your horse, and what kind of horse you have, or what you call it horsemanality, I think.
Yes.
A little bit more or less. So how the character of the horses and how you character is, and how you act in different situations, and how your horse tend to react in different situations. So just to be aware of that, so that you can better work with this in the moment when you are working or handling with your horse.
Great.
And that's the first part. And then I talk, there are theory parts and there are practical parts. In the theory parts I talk a lot about the emotions also, because here I see it's a big problem with people when they are starting to get too emotional. And then we start to handling with the horses from the beginning on. I have a little black filly in the video. And actually, this little black filly is the one who I'm having now in the shores in Cavaluna, the black stallion. And so I trained that horse more or less in this course. So we were for 1.5 years we're filming that horse, and also different horses. And I was filming it from the beginning on. So step by step, the first steps with little horses, what I do with the little horses, and then to build it up until the tricks I do with the horses from the more a little bit Spanish, Oticol, Spanish walk, this passage I do. Everything from the ground still, and the next project will be then on top of the horse. So
perfect. Wow, that's good. You know, even at my age, we are learning to do everything virtual like this. Matter of fact, on the September, what's the date for the forum? 11, 12, 13. We are doing well, every year, the second weekend of September, for the last 25 years, 6 years now, 5 years, we have what we call a Savvy Summit, okay? And we sometimes have 3,000 people show up. Well, this year we're going to do it virtually, okay? So anybody who's listening can go to Parelli.com and can join this. Plus, would you bring Molly over here? Bring this clinic here. And so I'm going to do three week-long clinics just to show. And this is the, it'll show. Okay. There we go. This is the virtual clinic. This is what we do. Pathway to Partnership is the name. These are all the notes, the things we do. We do the whiteboard, that everything is that we're doing. Okay. And so we're every day now filming for this, and I'm going to do 3 of those. The first one starts in November 2nd, right? October 2nd. Sorry, October 2nd, and that one's Pathway to Partnership. Then the second 3-week one is how to put the partnership to purpose. Like if you want to, to use your horse for trekking, or to use your horse on a ranch, or to use your horse for lessons, or whatever. And then the last one is for performance, and they're all 3 weeks long. And we're filming, and a lot of it's live. And then I have live question and answers. And then the last one is on performance for English, Western, speed events, and for people like you who like to put on shows. Okay, on how the kind of things. So again, like when you came to Florida, I love to tell everybody everything. I have no secrets. But I sell my secret.
I know that. No, yeah. No, but it's amazing. I think it's a little bit also the future from now. I mean, Corona, it's not nice,
but it's a
but
great. It's maybe I don't have to be on the airplane so much.
yes, yes, and
I can be
really,
with my horses. I can be with my horses more and my friends.
you can be with your horses when you teach. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's actually amazing. I think
there's always a good side. Always a good side to every. We say silver lining to every black cloud.
yeah, but that's actually now showing you part with what we were talking in the beginning of the conversation. You are the simplified thing person, not making it complicated. And I think I'm also quite like this. So I see a situation, okay, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, okay, we can be a little bit down now, but what can we do? So what can we do for that situation? So I think that's always the way you have to be in life. I mean, not only, and that was also a question I had here, not only with the horses. I mean, the horses can teach you all these things when you're able to learn it, but you should also in your daily life, with your partner, with your friends, with your new job, everywhere. You should behave like that. I think it's
that's why I like to use the word partnership.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people make the horse a slave, or they get mad at the horse or whatever, but they're not thinking about what do I have to do to get the horse to want to be my partner? I can't make him be my partner. I mean, you know, it's like a romance. You can't make somebody love you. You know, and horses don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And then once they, you know, you have to have bonding, then obedience, and then you'll get exuberance. But a lot of people forget the bond. They they work on the obedience, and the horse. You see these horses doing piaffe like
yeah.
Okay, again I do it, not like dancing, you know. And when I see what you do with your horses, I'm so proud of you. You really get this bonding, get obedience. They know what the bond, but you get the horse to, you know, horses run faster, jump higher out of heart and desire. That's what's in here. You have to have this part of the horse, and then this part, and then the body. Everybody else, the only German word I know is Dummkopf. These Dummkopfs, they just go for the body. And they're not trying to get the heart. They're not trying to get the head. They're not trying to get this, you know. And so this is, to me, you know, you have to have the heart and you're smart, hustle and your muscles. Same with the horse. You have to get the heart. You have to get this. Natural horsemanship means you use psychology. A lot of people think natural horsemanship means you don't wear spurs, you don't use the bit, you don't put shoes on the horse, you don't shave your armpit, don't wear a brassiere. Everybody thinks, woo, natural horsemanship. That's hippie horsemanship. That's not natural horsemanship.
That's actually, I need to record this.
This is good.
And you know, one time I got a phone call for an interview from Switzerland, from the what's the organization? The international organization for horses.
VFD,
FAE?
FIE.
Yeah.
FEI. And they asked me, they said, how does natural horsemanship, what does value does it for performance horses, for 3-day eventing horses, for dressage horses, for jumping horses, for Western horses? And they were asking me all these questions about pedestals and laying down, and I said, wait, you're asking me, how does trick training help performance horses? They said, yeah. I go, wait a minute, I don't do tricks. Tricks are something that, you know, is just something the horse does. It's not communication. And so a lot of people think natural horsemanship is trick training. It's not trick training. But now, if you want to teach your horse tricks, you can force them to do it, or you can do it naturally. Any behavior you want, but it's not trick. It's not trick training. It's not English. It's not Western. It's horse. So here's my definition. You ready for this? This is very important. Horsemanship is the perpetual and progressive series of habits and skills that both horses and humans need to become partners. So that means perpetual, forever. You have to forever have that habit. And you have to be progressive. You have to continually get better. Tom Dorrance, I saw him with horses, when he was in his 80s. It wasn't his physical what he could do, but how little he could do to get the horses to do so much was incredible. Okay? So it has to be progressive, and it has to be habits that you have and the habits that the horse has. Now you become partners. So there's a lot of look in the book and say horsemanship, and it says this and that and blah blah blah. Most of it's very chauvinistic and autocratic and anthropomorphic. That's the other thing. So many people think horses think like people, and you have to think like the horse. It's not.
Yeah.
You put human thoughts and values into animal actions. But so many people do with all of their pets, their horses, their dogs, their cats. It don't matter. And this is why I did the auto tape. Humans are from Mars, horses are from Venus. So to get people to understand, we have to understand, get them to understand us. So anyway, this is my passion.
It's so good that you say that, because that's why I told you also, Vera. That's why we separated also, and what I do, I separate. I say that's the theoretical part you need to know before. Then you have the horsemanship part, which is the handling part, to explain that that's just handling communication. And then if you want, because I know people want that, they want to do that, and it's also to get something a little bit different in their daily training. Then we can do some tricks.
Yeah.
To do something more different, or because people like it also. And I mean, the people like it and they are happy, and the horse does the Spanish walk or does something and they get happy. The horse gets also happy because they know they are happy in the training. So I think, and that's why we mixed it also a little bit, but we put it in separated
models.
Models.
The secret is to isolate, separate, and recombine. You have to isolate. First of all, the horse has to have rapport. He has to like you. Second of all, he has to respect you. Third of all, he has to have impulsion, which is emotional energy harnessed. And number four is he's got to then have a yielding system with his body where he puts his body willingly. Like if we were dancing and you followed where I took you and how I asked you to go, and you said, yeah, I love that. Thank you for being a good dancer. Which, by the way, is true.
Which one?
I'm a good dancer, so it's also dancing with the horse. It's really what it is. They have to think it's fun. It's not a discipline. We have to be disciplined, not the horse. The horse has horsepower, but horses love horseplay, and most people hate it when the horses play. So I try to tell people, you get the special thing when you combine horseplay and horsepower together. When you get those together, the magic happens.
That's
don't fight. Don't get rid of the horseplay. A lot of people want robots. A lot of the reiners, they want reining robots. A lot of the dressage people, they want obedience. They want the horse to only do it when they say, how they say. When not. Remember Nicole Opoff and Rembrandt? Oh my God, the horse would just fly across there, and smile on his face. And I talked to her several times. This was such a nice person to talk about how, sometimes she would just tell the horse, run like crazy. Let's go as fast as we can. And you don't very many dressage people say, let's go as fast as we can. And she did. She played with that horse's nature. She didn't force the horse's nature. Christoph Hess is also someone wonderful, and Louis Lucio. There are people out there that are doing beautiful, wonderful work with their horses. Walter Zettel, who was really one of my mentors, who just passed. He now is in horseman heaven, and he was the guardian angel of horses. He could play with the horse's nature, get people to understand how to play with that and gymnasticize. But it wasn't drilling. It was play, put the energy into the work, and it can be so fascinating, frustrating, or it can be just monotony.
I think when you have patience, and as you said, I think when you have patience, there's always a way where it's going to happen and where it's going to better. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, Nuno Oliveira had a great saying: expect a lot, accept a little, reward it often. Expect a lot, okay? And then expect a lot, accept a little, but then reward it often. And then that is such a good way to think. And his nephew is Luis Valença in Portugal. Do you know Luis Valença? I mean, these are people that I have spent a lot of time with over the years. I'm 66 years old, and I don't waste my time. I invest. When I go learn, I still go and learn. I still go and ask for help. I still, I know things I know, but like with more refined things or different things like that, I'm still different subjects, different sports. I'm still learning. And this is something that I encourage people that you don't ever know it all. But you can be the best me you can be. The horses are here to help us be the best me we can be, but only if we're not chauvinistic, if we're not autocratic, if we're not anthropomorphic. And you've got to remember one last thing. Adult human beings are easily addicted to linear thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We got to think outside the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
That's so true.
You got to think like this, not like this. And the process does not need to look like the product. And so the four things are to truly be partners. And the word for horse in Latin is equus. And that means equal us. It's the only animal that the human beings say he's our equal. He's stronger, faster, he's smarter, we're more intelligent, we know how to plan, think ahead, we can have ambitions, so it's a great combination if it goes together. So equus is something that only happens when there is no chauvinism, when there is no autocracy, no micromanaging, when it's realistic to the horse's nature. And every horse has a different personality based on four things: innate characteristics, learned behavior, environmental influences, and spirit. And then we have to think like a horse so that we can think laterally and solve the puzzle, create a future that's good for us and for the horse. That's equus. Mm-hmm. That's my goal for everyone who loves horses, is they could taste it once. Once, taste it.
That's amazing.
You will want it forever.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's why I let people ride my horses. They can taste it once. Oh no, I got so much to go. That's right. But you tasted it.
Yeah, that's really true. Actually, this linear thinking, it's something which, especially I think in Europe, I don't know, I don't know Europe people, but it's so hard sometimes to get out of the barns. And for me, it's so funny because I never had this. I had such a crazy family, and I always had to think.
Very clever. He was always thinking like this.
I was always thinking like that. And actually, my boyfriend at the moment, he's policeman, and he's very like this, and he gets crazy with me, because somehow he knows I am going to make it, and it's gonna come out right. But the way I do, he's not understanding it. He's really not understanding it. He's just like, what? Why? It's so funny. It's so funny how different it can be, and how sometimes he gets like, and then I see he's not gonna tell me, but I see his face. He said, "How did she like?" Okay.
How did that happen? So one time I was in Paris, and on the street, they have the guys who draw a picture, a cartoon of you, right, or of something, or your dog, or whatever. Yeah. And the guy draws a little line, and then he draws another line, and he draws this line and that line, and you're like, what is he doing? And all of a sudden, the last three lines, boop, 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 and it's you. It's like there was nothing there looking like it was going to look like what it did at the end. But he would do this and do these, and then all of a sudden, the last three, there it is. So this is
That's
the
that's the visual explanation of that.
So this is the secret art. When it's an art, it is not looking like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's you got an idea. Like the expect a lot is a big idea. I am going to be at Haute Ecole, or I am going to get to Grand Prix, or I am going to have a horse in the top competition. Okay, that's a great goal. That expect it, but expect just every little bit step toward it, and don't worry about what time. And then, reward it often. My son is 37 years old, and you may not have met him, but he had hydrocephalus when he was a baby, and a lot of brain damage. And he had a stroke when he was 12 and lost on the right side of his body a lot of. And you know what? He rides every day, 6, 7 horses every day. He competes against able-bodied people. He's won 5 championships, and the doctor said he would never walk or talk. Little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit, he drives a pickup truck. He takes care of himself.
He's amazing. I met him. I think you told me that.
That's right. You met him in Florida.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. You met him in Florida. So, the doctor said you must put him into the institution, give him to the government, because these children will never do anything but like that. And he is so smart. He is so able to do things. And, so I expected, I said to a lot of people, when he is maybe 35, he'll do what a 16-year-old could do. But at least he can do it. He didn't have to do it when he was 16. He could, and you met him, and he drives and rides and trains his dog.
So nice. He's so friendly and nice, and he was helping me a lot. He was driving me from one barn to the other.
This is applying this partnership idea to life. That's the really important thing, is that we understand that these are principles that we apply to our life, to our business, to everything. And it says in the Bible, the more you give, the more you get. So the more you give your horse, the more you get. The more you give your friends or your customers, the more you get. It's all about give, not about take. It's about give. So that's simple, but it's not.
It's not easy. And and also everything we were talking about, it's so much, and it's so much to think about. And I can just say for myself, and I think you too, in the beginning when I was with this hard horse, and still now, I mean, when I have hard horses, it takes me nights I cannot sleep. I'm thinking, why did this horse do it? Why did this horse, and like really staying awake the whole night thinking about what happened. Why did this horse do this like this? Or what is he thinking? How can I understand? So it's never gonna be a book or a how-to-do list you're gonna have, or just a technique we can give people, or you can give people to that, and then they can do it. No, you have to put your emotion, you have to feel it, and you have to think about it, and you have to study it, and you have to learn it, you have to put hours, and if not, it's not gonna work. So, and I sometimes see that the people, they wanted one-to-one, and to do it like this, like they're working with a coffee machine, or I don't know, something like that, and they don't need it. They love that coffee machine,
instructions,
but it's not about that.
Yeah. No. This is. People say to me all the time, "Hi, Pat." They ask, what are you doing or something? And I say, well, I usually say too much to tell you in 2 minutes. Okay. The next thing I say is, I do my thinking in the night. So in the day, it's just feel. They say, "Hey, Pat, what do you think?" I do my thinking at night. 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and what am I going to do with that horse? Oh, I think I'm going to try that. That time, yes, I think that's the right thing. And then, boom, There it is, right there. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Let go. Do this. Do that. So yeah.
And
It's a fascinating
Yeah, and you have to have the courage and the power also, or the power, courage. I think you understand me. To try it out, to do, and to let go, and to see what's gonna happen, and not to it's gonna be wrong. It's not gonna be. Try. Let him do it. We'll see what happens. If it's not working, we do it another way. It's okay. It's like and that's hard. It's hard for some people. But it's amazing.
Well, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you because you got the. See, it takes four things: philosophy, which is in our heart; the theory, which is in or the concept, which is in our eyes; the theory, which is in our brains; and the feel, which is in our body. Okay, and this is why you do so well. Is because you've got the philosophy. Never do something to a horse. Always do something with the horse. You know, even if the horse it's a tough situation, you're doing it for him. We had a horse yesterday that was kicking so bad. He was a Mustang and a Percheron cross, strong horse, 12 years old, and he is kicking against the rope, you know. And I just stood there like, okay, you can kick at the rope, you can kick it. And I mean, people were like, oh my God, and he did it not for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 10 minutes. He did it for an hour, kicking it, hour. And when I was done, I could take the rope and just walk backward. He would walk backwards to me, take the rope off. Okay? I didn't do that to the horse. I wasn't mad at the horse. I did that because what if he stuck his leg in a wire fence and he would chop his leg off. I did that so the horse would learn. Yeah, don't. Oh, I get it. Next time I feel something, relax, think, not fight immediate. Okay. Yeah. So no matter what we have to do, we have to have sometimes a tough love for a horse that's like, you know, when a horse that's learned to get, you know, vicious or strike or kick or whatever. You still have to do things, but you do it with him and for him. And like my son, what I think all the time, I think, what can I do with him or for him or get him to do so he'll be better? What you know, what can I do? I sometimes say, get up early tomorrow. You have to drive the tractor. Oh, Dad, I don't want to do that. Yes, you have to do that. It's important you do that. Okay, you know. But I know that now after 37 years, they said it was impossible for him to even walk or talk. And now look what all the things he does because I did that with him and for him. Yeah. Anyway, it's fun. So congratulations. I love your thing. And I hope the people who want to come to my virtual courses or to our forum, which is on the 11 through 13, 11 through 12, 11 through 13, they can go to Parelli.com and do that. And I hope my people come in and do your things. And I hope you come visit me again. Come to Colorado or Florida, but come both places. Yeah,
I would so much when all this Corona gets a little bit more relaxed, I will. I definitely will.
And I want to come see you. I want to come see you. One time, remember we talked to Lorenzo and we said the three of us, we need to go on a vacation together.
I will. I talked yesterday with him. I will tell him. Maybe he's watching. We don't know. I told him I have the interview with you. He should watch. And maybe we do something. We'll see.
Maybe he's watching. You know, he calls me once in a while, so we really proud of him.
Maybe the three of you should do an interview. That would maybe be good for the next time.
Oh yeah, that would be good. His English is good. Good enough. Yeah. My French is not very good. My German, blah. Okay, and a little bit Spanish. Yo hablo español porque yo tengo trabajadores en mi rancho, California, Colorado, Florida, y necesito. Y yo visitar España mucho tiempos y Costa Rica y México. So, eso es muy importante. Yo sabe mucho con yo hablo Spanglish perfecto por de caballos y de vacas, y de ranchos y de picas. I'm okay in Spanish, but the rest, forget it.
You have this nice Mexican accent.
I know. I am really. I'm Italian, but I'm really, I think, more Mexican than I am Italian.
It's so nice. Well, that's amazing. Thank you very much, really, for all your time. And maybe tell me or write us all your dates for your online virtual seminar and everything you have in the next days, so we can put it in the comments when we load the video up. And we will send you also the interview, so you can also share it as you want.
And also you, us, so we can send people to you. Okay?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was amazing. Thank you. All the greetings to your family.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And Vera, thank you, Vera, for a good job of organization. You did a very good job.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening or your afternoon. Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay, schlaf gut.
Schlaf gut.